So thanks for being up early for what I hope will be the beginning of a number of events that will be meaningful for you. I was sitting with Dr. Boyd, and we were both reflecting that when we were in high school, there was very little type of ceremony, or certainly no journey of 100 days and a number of events. And that's mainly to point out to you that one of the values of an education in a place like MBA is the intimacy and the opportunity to get to know one another. And I think the intentionality of the school to say, this is a good thing to do, and I'll elaborate on that in a few minutes. So 100 days. What should you think about? I think, personally, that you want to think about your friendships, and that's one of the reasons I intentionally just said, just sit here until about 7:20, let them just enjoy being with one another. We don't have a long program. This is more about just being together this morning and remembering that this time is precious. It'll go quickly, and there'll be very few times left in your life when you'll all be with one another. So what do you think about? I think you should say to yourself, I'm going to support my friends in these 100 days. I'm going to go see Matt and Nolan in the play this weekend. I'm going to go to an art exhibit and just enjoy seeing what students do in the art realms. I'm going to go to a concert if I haven't been to a jazz concert or another concert at the school. I'm going to wander down to the debate area in the afternoon. It's hard to go see the debate competitions because they're typically not here. I'm just going to go see what my friends do down there. Obviously all the athletic events, and you could list other concepts. I think there's something really important about saying to you and reinforcing this morning that you want to hone your skills, whether they be in writing, whether they be critical thinking skills, whether they be in mathematics, whatever discipline, because you want to have the best edge next year. You want to feel as if you're prepared. So take these next 100 days to do your best to strengthen your own academic skills. I think that you want to talk to yourselves a little bit about who you are personally, what is important to you, what informs you about your values, your integrity, your self-discipline. Again, this is another way to have incredible preparation for next year. You'll be on your own. This is the great part of this journey you're on, where you'll be able to make a lot of decisions. You will not have a mother or a father around to tell you when to go to bed or whom to be around or how late to party. But to develop that inner strength is something you want to work on your entire life. And these 100 days is a good time to do it. And lastly, of course, just engage in getting to know the people here so that you might benefit from those friendships flourishing and developing in much greater ways beyond these 100 days. I've thought, obviously, a number of times about what I could say personally, given that, as you know, I'm going through this battle with cancer. And this is not a time, nor is any time really meant for me to be indulgent. But it is probably good for me to say to you that that life is incredibly precious, that you're going to need your strength, you're going to need a lot of resources that you want to be developing right now when times get tough. And this is a really good time to think about it in these 100 days, I believe, and I hope you see the merits of that. Well, enough from me. This is meant to be more about you. So I've asked 3 seniors to make some comments, and then we'll end with some music. So this is meant to be short and sweet. So if Joseph and then Jackson and then Tony could come up, we'll then hear some music, and I'll say have a great day. Come on.
All right. Good morning, and welcome to the 100 Days Breakfast, time in which we can chill, reflect, and eat a lot of biscuits. As I'll probably know, I've had way too many already. I'd like to thank Drew Gordon for killing me in the assassin game after first period yesterday. It was all right. All right, so in this age of Snapchat filters, trucks, and endless Nick Coletti, so dude, vines. We did not have the time nor the energy to reflect on our journey that is NBA and how much we have actually gained from it. Everyone has their own challenges that they have to deal with during their lives, whether it be family problems, social issues, or athletic injury. But somehow we always find a way using NBA resources to overcome them. My challenge personally was being a stutterer. I have always been stuttering since I could talk, especially during the elementary and middle school days. Stuttering as a child was extremely frustrating and overwhelming sometimes. Hearing the words, "Can this kid talk?" or "just spit it out," became common expressions when talking to someone, adult or peer. Week after week, I would go to speech therapy, practice, saying extremely basic things such as introductions or just small talk. Then, finally, around 8th grade, I was able to shake most of the stuttering off. I was finally comfortable with my friend group and the environment I had placed myself at in my old school, MLK, and then I switched to NBA. I will never forget my first day at NBA. It was 9th grade registration. I was a very chubby / skinny, not sure how that works out, ninth grader with his hair slicked up and some weird braces on. And I was not looking forward to introducing myself. All the new 9th graders, of course, had to get up and introduce themselves in front of the whole class. And when it came to me, I absolutely froze. A big ol' stutter came on. And so finally I said my name, and it was a rough name saying, quickly sat down. I thought I was done for. At any other school, I would have been done for. At any other school, I would have had no chance of being relatively cool and probably would have been known as the kid who stutters for the rest of high school. But at the time, I did not realize how incredible this school is. Not only was I not judged by my disability, but I was also given an opportunity to overcome it. I think that the gift of asking for help is totally overrated at some places. I think that some people, not at NBA, when they're looking at life zoomed in and not looking at the big picture, they can be incredibly overwhelmed at the task at hand, whether it be a test, a play, or even a football game. But I think that the best tools that NBA has taught me is how to ask for help, and how to look at the big picture and not freak out about the little things. All the things that NBA has given me, the speech therapy during study halls, all the homework help during crucial help sessions, of course the amazing cookies provided by Sage and Miss Susan during break, are examples of all the opportunities that we're given here to accomplish our personal dreams and also help us for the future. The amount of opportunities given by NBA, personally with me through football and other clubs such as the Grill and Chill Club, have truly made me a better man. I think the same is true for y'all as well. NBA has let us find our niche through creativity and desire, and all we had to do was ask, really. What you get from NBA is not just the physical success and the medals. You also gain the most important thing in life. It's confidence, but it's a confidence within modesty, a confidence to succeed after NBA. Honestly, I'm just thankful for y'all here today and what you guys have done to shape my life and the other lives around you. I think of this class here, to make a comparison the only way that I know how to, like a nice juicy cheeseburger. Throughout high school, at the beginning of high school, we were properly mixed and patted down and seasoned and such. But of course, can't eat a raw hamburger. So sophomore and junior year, NBA threw us on the grill and let us develop into an incredible piece of meat, or in our case, great men. Then of course, the burger's final step is being cheesed and topped with some fresh veggies and thrown on a bun and sent out into the world. We only have 100 days left, fellas. It's time to throw on all the toppings we can, pack her up, and say our goodbyes to truly end our NBA careers on a high note. Thanks a lot for listening. Roll Red.
Good morning. Well, gentlemen, we've almost made it to the end. I'm very excited for the new start we will all get, but I know it'll be bittersweet for me. Throughout my time at NBA, I remember countless teachers and assembly speakers talking about the journey and how you're not supposed to look back, but just keep looking forward. But I think now, being so close, we can look back and reflect about how amazing each of our journeys have been to bring us all here together today. Not one of our journeys is the same. Each one is unique and personal. Many of them started off in very different places, but they will all end together outside these doors on June 2nd. I remember when I was touring NBA, when I was a sixth grader, I asked a senior what his favorite thing about NBA was. And it was a weird answer because I had never heard it before. He said his favorite thing about NBA was all the tradition and history that came with it. And that surprised me. As Richard Thornton said last year from McCarthy's Duty, Honor, Country speech at West Point, we are all part of a long red line. We are connected to hundreds of gentlemen whose names cover these walls, each one completing the same journey that we are so close to the end now. My journey is as plain and unexceptional as it gets compared to Joseph's. I'm just a kid from Oak Hill who came here because that was what everyone else did. I like many sports coming into NBA, and I'm forever grateful that NBA allowed me to try things that ended up not being for me, but also to find and excel in my passion of lacrosse. Socially, though I may act confident, I had just as many insecurities, if not more, as any 13-year-old. But NBA has a special culture of comfort. Yes, I know that sounds crazy, that when you're working hard in school only to get more tired at athletic practice, or coming into school when everyone else is out for a snow day, NBA established a culture of comfort for me. That comfort comes with the tight brotherhood we have all built with each other. Many people on the outside look at NBA and say we live in a bubble, that we don't know how real the world is. Well, maybe so, but NBA does not create that bubble. We do. There's a reason you hardly see any fights or acts of bullying or hate on campus. It's because we respect each other and we grind out hardships together. To others, this may look like we live in this protected world, but to me, it just looks like a bunch of brothers looking out for each other. Last night we had our first lacrosse practice, and I think all the other 7 seniors would agree that our team has never looked so good at the beginning of a season, and that the level of energy on the field was more than I had ever seen in any practice. We're not the best lacrosse players in the state by far, and on paper we're just a mediocre team. But we are a team that will fight and grit for every inch. That same mentality can be seen all across the school. We grind together and we win together. Now, one of our journeys is the same. We all bring different skills to the table, but all these journeys are headed to the same place. And it's been an absolute pleasure to spend it with you. Thank you. Roll Red.
Good morning. Whenever I walk into Ingram and see the 7th graders walking into IPS, I think to myself, there's absolutely no way I was that small in 7th grade. And truly I believe it, because you guys have all looked the same for the past 5 years, and I definitely was 6 feet tall in 7th grade. But obviously, we haven't been the same since we all gathered there in Massey on the first day with our big brothers, and we weren't the same mentally either. We've all grown a lot in this place, and I'm glad to be able to call NBA my home. To start, everyone thinks I'm just the academics guy. And truly, there's definitely merit to those claims, because I do a lot of math. And when I first came to NBA, I basically came for math counts, honestly. And I did math counts in 7th and 8th grade. But what NBA has given me is the opportunity to branch out. And there were so many new activities and opportunities available to me at the activity fair or other events. and I began to get involved in new ways on campus. And I think each and every one of you has done this. Each and every one of us as a class has contributed in a new way to the campus dynamic and been able to branch out into music, to theater, and other aspects. For me, I think my main branch out was into extemporaneous speaking. So for you non-extempers here, extemp is a form of debate in which you give a 7-minute speech with 30 minutes of preparation about a politics question. It might be about the presidential election or something like that. And you actually have no internet access, so you need to really know your stuff before you get into this. And so at first, it was really nerve-wracking. I had no idea what to do, and one time I remember I got a question on changes to the Chinese constitution about environmental policy, and I really had no idea what to say, so my third point was that I was Chinese, so you should believe me. It didn't go over well, and Armand Jala made me do wall sits during practice. But now, looking back, I can say that the team really made me appreciate the true value of communication, and extemporaneous speaking and being on the MBA Extemp team has been a great experience. It's allowed me to enjoy crafting an introduction that keeps the judge's attention. It's allowed me to embrace the adrenaline of maintaining poise during an impromptu speech, and I really enjoy it when somebody in the crowd smiles and I can understand that I've transported some tangled idea in my head through words about maybe some random topic in Africa to his and given him a new perspective on this topic. So overall, I think the MBA Extemp team has given me this amount of appreciation. And perhaps more importantly, MBA has given me the opportunities to pursue my passion. So obviously, I think I'm going to be able to do math in college and pursue applied math or engineering in further fields. And I think MBA math classes and the opportunities they've given me have been huge in that. From Mrs. Chin's geometry with the cold pizza arguments, to Mr. Davidson's riddles, to the cutthroat calculus in BC, MBA has been a wild ride. And I've been able to go on a lot of Wilson Grant and summer trips that have made me really solidify my interest in applied math and math modeling with applications in medicine. Overall, I think each of us has got to shine in our own ways. And we've grown from these summer exchanges, summer camps, trips to Colombia, to Spain, and other places, and we really need to appreciate each other's. In this last 100 days, I challenge you to reflect upon what happened to you over these past 6 years and appreciate the journey you've been on, as well as appreciate the other people that have made that same journey. Go to their events, as Mr. Gioia said, go to the next play, go to the next sporting event, and support your classmates. Let's finish strong in 100 days. Roll Red.